and they're going to be here for the weekend, having a camp. And, we're going to invite teams, local teams, might be a school team to play them while they're here. So a schedule of games will be going out shortly to the media. Tomorrow, I know they come in tomorrow, and their first game is against Cayman Select team at the Annex at 7:30. So, fans can come out and watch St. George's College play against the Cayman Select team tomorrow.
That's great.
What division is this?
This is under 15.
Under 15, okay.
Under 15 boys.
Is this in preparation for something? Something big?
This is George's team. In Jamaica, the Colts and the Pepsi, which are the Pepsi is the U13s, Colts, which are U15s. Their preparation goes on now for tournament starting in September. So, they're just preparing their team for high school football tournament.
Okay, and we're benefiting from it as well.
And we're benefiting from it.
Very nice.
That's great. And Brees, you were mentioning before the show started that CIFA Field has had some upgrades.
Yeah, we are currently in the process of putting down the poles and the lights around the field, and CUC is assisting us with that. So I'd just like to thank CUC for their assistance, and hopefully within the next 2 weeks we should have lights at the field, which would be beneficial for us, because then more of our national teams can train at the field. Plus, we can have some of our youth matches that go later on in the afternoon, and this would also alleviate some of the stress on Annex and Aid Bush, because then we can move more games to the CIFA field. So it's really good. The lights are going to be on a timer, so we can monitor the usage, and also we can rent the field out at nights to different organizations to use the field. So it can act as a revenue generation for us also.
That's fantastic. And no doubt there's a lot of stress right now being applied to the Annex and Edgebush State. We see the schedules coming out, and it's constantly on the Annex and Edgebush, and there's a lot of games, and CIFA does run a lot of matches. And
it's a toss-up between flag football sometimes. I think Ultimate Frisbee.
Yes. We are trying for the next season to focus more on East End, North Side, and Borden Town.
Right.
But of course, we need to have those fields up to a certain standard before we can have our games there. So during the off season, we'll be sitting down with Colin and having a discussion in regards to those fields. And on another note, for especially May and June and later on this year, we have a few CFU CONCACAF international tournaments that will be in Ireland, but I'll wait for when President Alfredo is on air for him to go through those upcoming tournaments.
That's great. Thank you for that. And it is great to see the number of different projects CIFA has undergo. Not enough time in this segment, but between the Challenge League, a few weeks ago, CIFA held the Girls Festival. Women's League is in week 10 of their program. And obviously stay tuned to the Super Jam this afternoon for all of the updates on what is going on within each respective league. But without further ado, let's take it to the men's FA Cup draw. Walk us through a bit about what's going on today in the draw. We haven't had a draw in about a year or so. So let's...
this is the 2018-19 FA Cup draw. We'll do the men's draw first, and then we'll do the women's draw afterwards. And basically, we're just allocating the teams for the first round. The first rounds would take place on Tuesday, April the 30th, and Wednesday, the 1st of May, for the men. There must be a winner in each match. Extra time and penalty shootouts will be taken if there's not a winner after regular time. And then once we do the draw today, the CIFA Executive Committee will sit down and allocate the teams to the venues and the respective dates. So today's just the draw for the matchups.
Okay.
Great.
So with that said, let me just go through the teams and the ball numbers. We have Academy Sports Club, which is ball number 1. Alliance Sports Club, which is ball number 2. Borden Town Football Club, ball number 3. Cayman Athletic Sports Club, ball number 4. East End United, ball number 5. Elite Sports Club, ball number 6. Future Sports Club, ball number 7. Georgetown Sports Club, ball number 8. Northside Football Club, ball number 9. Roma United Sports Club, ball number 10. Scholars International, ball number 11. Sunset FC, ball number 12. And what we'll do for this draw, 4 teams will get a bye. For the teams that we actually match up, we'll do the home teams first. So we do 4 home teams in order, and then 4 away teams in order, and then the rest is the bye teams.
Right.
Okay.
And this is for the men's FA Cup.
This is for the men's FA Cup draw, yes. So without further ado, I'll ask Mr. Mark Campbell to do the first draw.
Ball 3.
So the first home team is Bordentown Football Club. Okay, so we will move on to ball number 2, the second home team. Sorry, we'll move on to the next draw, which is the second home team.
Nine.
Okay.
So Northside Football Club, so that's the second home team.
So just a reminder to listeners, we are drawing the first 4 home teams. In
Correct.
these first 4 balls.
The third draw, the third home team.
8.
Georgetown Sports Club. The fourth and final home team draw.
2.
It's Alliance SC.
Alliance Sports Club. Okay, good. So we have drawn the home teams. So now we're going to draw the away teams in order. So the first away team will play against Bordentown Football Club.
4.
Okay.
That's Cayman Athletics Sports Club.
So the first matchup is Bordentown taking on Cayman Athletic Sports Club.
Yes. And the next draw, the next away team will play against Northside Football Club.
6.
Elite Sports Club. So Northside Football Club will play Elite Sports Club. The third away draw.
10.
This is Roma. Roma United will take on Georgetown.
Roma United
Okay.
Sports Club will take on Georgetown Sports Club. And the last draw to face Alliance Sports Club will be
Five.
East End United Football Club.
We'll take on Alliance Sports Club.
Will take on Alliance Sports Club. And the 4 teams that will have the bye in the first round. And just to let you know that after the first round, we'll do a draw again to see the matchups for the quarterfinals. So the 4 teams that will have the draw in the first round are
Academy.
Sunset Football Club,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Scholars International, Future Sports Club, and Academy Sports Club.
So again, for our listeners, the 4 teams that have drawn the bye are Academy, Future, Scholars International, and Sunset.
Yes, and just to repeat the matchups for the first round of the CIFA FA Cup, which will take place on Tuesday the 30th of April or Wednesday the 1st of May at 7 p.m. Matches will be at the Annex or Ed Bush. Again, once the draw is concluded today, the executive committee will decide on the dates and venues for the respective matchups. So we'll circulate those tomorrow. Again, the first round FA Cup matchups are Bodentown Football Club versus Cayman Athletic Sports Club, Northside Football Club versus Elite Sports Club, Georgetown Sports Club versus Roma United Sports Club, and Alliance Sports Club versus East End United Football Club. And the teams that have the bye are Sunset, Scholars International, Future, and Academy.
Now, before we move on to the women's draw here, what are your thoughts on these matchups with the between Bodentown, Cayman Athletic, Northside Elite, Georgetown versus Roma United, and Alliance versus East End? Any particular rivalries our listeners should be looking out for? Or any particular favorites coming into this FA Cup draw?
Well, I mean, I think the Bodentown Cayman Athletic would be an interesting match. I think they always play each other very, very hard, and they always go for the win. So I think they would have that'll be a very, very interesting game. But the other game that I would look forward to watching is Alliance East End. It's always entertaining to watch those two teams play. So those are the two teams. Those are the matchups that I would look forward to seeing. Mark?
No, I'll agree with Bruce on the Bodentown Cayman Athletic game. Both teams go very direct and go for the win. But no, I think Northside, Elite, Georgetown, Roma, Alliance, East End. No, there should be even keyed in those three games. Anybody could be the winner there.
That's great.
And just to let you know, the winners from last season is Academy. Right. Academy is the defending champions. They defeated Elite 1-0 the last time around. So look for Academy to come out strong again this year to defend their FA Cup.
Okay, that's great. And so now we have the CIFA Women's FA Cup matchup. We're going to be following a very similar format to just now.
Yes, and the Women's FA Cup semifinals, because we have 4 teams in the Women's League, so we will automatically go straight to the semifinals, and will take place on Thursday, the 16th of May. The matches were originally scheduled for the 12th of May, but we had to move those matches due to the girls' national team, which will be traveling to the Turks and Caicos from the 10th to the 13th of May to compete in Turks and Caicos. And once we arrange for President Whitaker to be on air, he'll go into that in more detail. So our girls and I think one of our boys' teams are also scheduled to depart for Turks and Caicos. Again, with the men, there must be a winner after 90 minutes. I mean, if there's not a winner after 90 minutes, we go into extra time and penalties, shootout if necessary. And again, the venues will be determined by the CIFA Executive Committee after the draw. So with that said, we just go straight into the draw. The women's teams that we have are Elite Sports Club, and that's ball number 1. Roma United Sports Club, which will be ball number 2. Scholars International Sports Club, ball number 3. And Sunset Football Club, ball number 4.
Don't be afraid to let the ball drop. That's what this is all about.
So we'll do the home teams first, the 2 home teams first, and then the 2 away teams.
One.
Ball number 1, we have Elite Sports Club.
Two.
Roma United Sports Club. Roma United Sports Club is the second home team. Okay, so home team number 1 is Elite Sports Club. Home team number 2 is Roma United Sports Club. So we'll draw for the away teams now. The first one will face Elite Sports Club.
Four.
Sunset Football Club. So Elite Sports Club will face Sunset Football Club.
Three.
And the second away team is number 3, Scholars International. So Scholars International will face Roma United Sports Club. So again, on Thursday the 16th of May at 7 p.m., the venue will be determined by the executive committee. The first match will be Elite Sports Club versus Sunset Football Club. And on Thursday the 16th of May at 7 p.m., the second match will be Roma United Sports Club versus Scholars International Sports Club. And then the finals of the Women FA Cup will be played at the Annex at 5 p.m. on the 25th of May, 2019.
And I see here there's no extra time played for the women.
Oh, there's no extra time played for the women. Yes,
okay.
They go straight to a penalty shootout.
Right.
Yes, the extra time is only played for the men FA Cup. Correct.
That's great. And just for our listeners' sake, the second round of the men's group will play on May 14th and May 15th after a new round of draws. That's correct?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
All right, and there you have it. So just a reminder for all listeners, in the men's FA Cup, round 1 we'll see Bottomtown take on Cayman Athletic, Northside versus Elite SC, Georgetown versus Roma United, Alliance versus East End, with 4 teams taking a bye in this first round. That is Academy, Futures, Scholars International, and Sunset. After round 1, there will be a new draw to determine who will face each other on May 14th and 15th.
Yep. And for the women, Elite will take on Sunset and Roma will take on Scholars. So we're looking forward to that. Come Thursday, May 16th at 7 p.m.
That's great. Guys, anything else you'd like to add today?
No, I mean, just like to thank Radio Cayman for your support, your continued support. And as I said before, we'll ensure that President Whitaker is on air shortly to give you an update of everything that's going on, especially in regards to our international schedule. We have quite a few things happening this year, both on island and overseas. We'll be hosting a few tournaments at the CFU and CONCACAF level. And, of course, we have the Nations League, which will resume later this year for our senior men's national team. But I'll wait for him to come on air to give you more details on that.
I'll see if I can have him on the show this
That'd be
Tuesday.
great.
Yes, that'll be good.
That'd be fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you again for coming in, and to all of our Radio Cayman listeners, we do appreciate you allowing us to cut into RC Fusion today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you, DJ Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn. Send it back to you in the studio.
Is this thing working? Give me some sound over here.
Every Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show for your radio, featuring Will Sinatra.
Now, sound is everything.
Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop, reggae, and calypso, and an entertainment trivia section. The Super Jam Show is fueled by the proud sponsorship of the Cayman Islands Football Association. CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.